So I'm going to give my thoughts on Nova Scotia Power and how my interaction has gone with them so far. This is not the section where I'm working, but this is basically what the property looked like when I arrived. So I called up Nova Scotia Power and I said, look, I'd like to have electrical service. There isn't any on my property, but there is a pole down here. You have anything you want to add right now? No? Not right now. So this pole is on the corner of my property. Now I needed electricity extended down to where I'm going to build my shop and eventually where I'm going to build my home. I should mention as well that high-speed internet is here. Because I'm in Canada and I am in the East, it's Bell Alliant. Bell Alliant is also responsible for the poles that go. So the first thing you need to do is you need to book a scope. So you call Nova Scotia Power and you say, look, I want electrical service on my property. They'll send somebody out, an engineer, and they look at the layout on your property and they decide where they can and can't put poles, and you tell them what you are or are not after, and they come up with a plan for you. So after my engineer came out, we came up with a plan. So my plan was to come down roughly 55 meters or 150 feet, somewhere in and around there, roughly 150 feet. I wanted to come down, and then I want to take my service in here to my shop. And then from my shop, I'm going to trench over to where my home is going. Now, as you can see from my street, it's very, very rural. He said to me that he took spray paint, he hammered in where the post went, he hammered in where the anchor went, and then he told me I basically had to raise all the trees from on either side of those marks, other side of the pole and the anchor, 20 feet, and then all the way down to the other pole. So that way the lineman had clear shot at it. Well, that wasn't a long process for Bell Alliant to come out. They were out within, I would say, days from Nova Scotia Power, or they were at least in touch within a few days anyway. So then Bell Alliant, because this is dug in I would say a right-of-way. I guess this is dug in a right-of-way with the highways. I do not have a very busy highway, but they have an easement that allows them to extend the road, widen it, or pave it. I wish. It's never going to happen. So Bell Alliant puts in a permit and puts that into the Department of Highways. They approve it and say, okay, you go ahead, you're allowed to put your poles in. So prior to the poles going in, I built the temporary service. Now this is a drawing that Nova Scotia Power provides, and I hired a licensed electrician to provide the double 20 amp fuses and two 20 amp plugs and a meter base. So what'll happen is Nova Scotia Power will connect temporary service to that mast on there while I build my shop. And then when I'm done, I believe it's a $90 charge or somewhere to basically swing the electricity on over to my shop. And then from there, we'll be trenching on over into the house, and that's where we'll put the electrical service. So this is the meter base, fuse box, two 20 amp plugs, and I'll be able to use that temporarily. And as soon as I'm ready, I'll be building the shop here. And then again, we'll trench over to go to where the house is. So to recap this, the procedure that you have to follow, it's pretty straightforward, but I can see how you can run into issues. If things, for example, if I had an easement to put another pole across the street to be able to support the load if I was going a great distance into my property, that could be time consuming because I'd have to get the neighbor involved. If there was rock breaking that needed to be done, fortunately there wasn't. There's a lot of things that can get in the way and slow the process down. So what I would recommend to you is when you start from the very beginning, first thing, call Nova Scotia Power. As soon as you have a property, get a scope done. They'll come out, they'll tell you what needs to happen. If you have trees to take down, get them down immediately. The faster you do this work, the faster the guys can come and do theirs. If you want temporary service, get that pole built right away. Get yourself a licensed qualified electrician to come and do this. And if you have any carpenter skills, you should be able to build this pretty easily yourself. If you don't, get them to do it, but get it done right away. It is the permit, the electrical permit for this pole that triggers them digging the big poles to put in, which triggers the line crew to come. So it goes electrical permit for this. That'll give these guys a heads up to dig the pole. When they dig the pole, they put their paperwork in, and then it's forwarded off to the line crew to connect you. This is firsthand. This is me going through it. I have found it to be not a very difficult process. I can see where people get frustrated, but I don't find it difficult. The people I've been dealing with have been fantastic, understanding, and helpful. Just get your stuff in order, get yourself organized, and do everything in plenty of time before you need electricity. Do it as soon as you buy the property. Start this process. I still get a kick out of looking at this pole. So for now, Nova Scotia Power, thumbs up. Right on, guys.